Whitehair, though. He likes to smile. He's happy. He's healthy. I walked up to some of the other servers and I was like, hey guys, FOWO 85. What's the difference between shoes and canoes? And before I can even get to the punchline of this joke, one of the other servers just goes, oh, canoes float? I'll let it sink in, guys. Don't you worry. You can catch up. I'll take a minute. Canoes float. While we're at it, why don't we just list all the obvious differences between shoes and canoes? Canoes can't do long division. Mel Gibson never produced a controversial film about canoes. 6 million canoes never just went missing at once. Guys, the point I'm trying to make is canoes tip. And apparently they tip more than the back half of the room because they ain't laughing. I'm just saying our service is going to be taken care of by the nice young people up front. That's why I like you guys. That's why I like my man John up here in the 530 women he's with. That's right. That's right. Big pimpin'. Big pimpin' up front. This is true. My man's wearing blue. Respect him or I'll shoot you. Know your colors, people. Know what they mean. Know what they mean. Green means money. Blue means run. Staying healthy, guys. Staying healthy. Smile. Laugh. Oh, man.
7th grade. I was downstairs in the living room. I was watching Comedy Central's Top 25 stand-up countdown. I was in 7th grade. That means I was 12 going on 13, so this was probably like 2003. I watched the last 7 or 8. Each one better than the last, obviously, because they're counting down. Right. And number 2 was this guy named Stephen Lynch.
Every time I drink a beer, it makes your lazy eye disappear. Every time I do a shot, I think you're hot, but I know you're not. Oh, I'm just trying to drink you pretty.
And then number 1 was Dane Cook.
I'm driving over to the show. I'm driving safely. I'm obeying the rules of the road. And as I'm driving, a guy in another lane, completely oblivious to me, he starts coming into my lane, just coming on in, coming into my lane. And if I didn't see him coming in, boom, accident. But because I saw him, I saw him, I see, and I assess the situation. I assess the situation.
Number 1 was Dane Cook, and it was his Harmful of Swallowed material, which was his first commercial album, and it changed my life. It blew me away. I mean, dude was just so funny, and he had this energy that was so similar to mine, where it was almost too much, and he was so overbearing, but at the same time as wild and uncontrolled as it was, he had it harnessed and focused perfectly on every little word that came out of his mouth, every subtlety and every nuance of his act. It just had that energy to it. And I related to that so much, and just from that point on, I was like, that's it. That's my life. That's what I'm going to do. No questions.
My girlfriend and I, we love each other very much. I came up with a nickname for my penis while we were having sex. I call it the grand finale because every time I ejaculate, I shout, and that's the show! She loves that. Absolutely loves that. Almost as much as I love the nickname that she gave my penis, she likes to call it the inside joke. Hung like a hamster, people. Hung like a hamster.
Art is art, mainstream or not. It's all got some sort of artistic merit to it that not only makes it acceptable in society, and not only makes it popular in society, but it gives society something to revere. It gives society something to look up to and strive for and to think about. It doesn't matter what art form we're talking about. It could be a performing art, like stand-up comedy. It could just be something simple as sketching or painting. Even graffiti. Graffiti is a street art. You know what I mean? It's all art. It's all art. This is a good one. It's cool. It takes a stand-up comedian years to write a single joke sometimes. I have jokes that I've had like in mind since I started over 3 years ago, and they're still not jokes yet. They are nothing more than a concept or a premise, but I know they're gold. I know they're going to be funny. I know that it's going to be hilarious once I find a way to make it work. However, I haven't found a way to make it work yet. And I mean, it's more than just a single bit or a single joke. I mean, it takes, you know, performers years to be able to construct a set that's ready for a club, or a set that's TV ready, let alone an entire HBO special like George Carlin has done so many times, or like Dane Cook has done, or anybody else. It takes time. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, and I think that's a big part of art. You need to be able to see the time and effort that's gone into it. And then once you see that, you start to get a better understanding for it. And once you start to understand something, you can start to respect it. But here's the thing though, that's the funny thing about comedy. A lot of people watch comedians and they're like, oh, I can do that. That's literally how it started with me. I saw Stephen Lynch, I saw Dane Cook, and I'm like, it wasn't just I want to do that, it was, I can do that.
When I was a teenager, I used to watch people like Richard Pryor and Robin Williams on television and think, I can do that.
It's so easy for them to just get up there and make people laugh and tell jokes and just do their set. And because it's so easy for them, other people see it and they're like, oh, I can do that. I can definitely do that. So that's why I think stand-up comedy doesn't get the respect it deserves as an art form. But you still can't, like, deny it as an art form.
Yeah, my last name is Whitehair, which makes for a very, very awkward nickname for me. My friends like to call me Whitey. And in the suburbs where I grew up, that's cool. But now I live in North Philadelphia. And that nickname stays so cool no more. Just let me paint a picture for you guys. Put yourself in my shoes for a second. 3 a.m. 7-Eleven. North Philly. And your friend decides to shout across the store, hey, yo, Whitey! What kind of ice cream you want? I'm not the kind of ice cream that doesn't get me shot and stabbed. I'm not the kind of ice cream where I leave this 7-Eleven without 7 to 11 bullet holes in my body. Oh, they allow the safety flavored ice cream? Yeah, that's what I want. The Ben & Jerry's bulletproof. Along with little bits of Kevlar in it. It's my favorite kind of ice cream because it keeps air in my lungs. AKA, I stay alive.
I don't even feel like I've found my voice yet, which bothers me because I feel like at 3 years in you should definitely know that. But I mean, now's not the time for me to shine though. Now's the time for me to get the nonsense out of the way. So that when I get school out of the way, the real nonsense, when I get the real nonsense out of the way, which is Temple University and this advertising degree, then it's just jokes. That's it. And by the time it's just jokes, the nonsense is through with. So now I have a chance to excel and just get better by leaps and bounds, and that's when, you know, I have the time to forge this identity and this persona and find my voice and all these other things. But as of right now, I mean, I don't even know. It's hard to say. I mean, I guess I know what I want, but what I am, I don't know. Life is about enjoying yourself and having fun. But here's the thing, life is also about working and making money. So if I'm going to work and make money for 50 to 60 some years of my life, I might as well enjoy what I'm doing. And there's nothing I enjoy more than being the center of attention and just spreading joy and happiness. That's all laughter is. It's joy and happiness compounded into a sound. Laughter is happiness. Like you wouldn't be able to laugh if you weren't happy or if you weren't open to the idea of happiness. It's a temporary thing, because like, I mean, after you're done laughing and after the joke's done being told, you still got all these bills to worry about. You still got all these other things stressing you out. That doesn't take that away, or it doesn't change that, but you let go of it all this stress and all this negativity for one brief shining moment, just to embrace positivity and just to embrace happiness. Now I'm sad again. Now I'm worried about the phone bill and Christmas and the fact that I have squishy foot. I actually know exactly how to answer this. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't. I think about this a lot. I want it all. Everything. I want to be Dane Cook. I want to be George Carlin. I want to be Richard Pryor. I want to be Andrew Dice Clay. I want everything. I want to be on television. I want to be in movies. I want to be a household name. I don't just want this to pay the bills. I want this to pay your bills. And I want this to pay mom's bills and dad's bills.
Driving here today was the worst because I had to drive on 76 in Philadelphia. And if you guys have never driven on 76, this is the textbook definition of a clusterfuck. Now I cut this guy off, and now next thing you know, we're right next to each other in stop-go traffic. Now he's trying to get my attention, but I'm doing that thing where I'm just pretending like he don't exist. You know what I mean? But this motherfucker honks his horn, so now I can't ignore him anymore. I look over, and this guy's giving me one of these. John, the fuck happened to the finger, man? When is this not enough to let me know how angry and frustrated you are with me? It's unacceptable. And can we look at this thing, guys? This is huge. It took him 2 hands to hold this thing. It's gotta be John's dick, because it ain't mine. Ladies, I'm just saying, it'll be the best 2 inches you've ever had, but that's neither here nor there. We'll save that story for another time and 4 more Miller Lights. This motherfucker triple dog dares me to one-up him. So I did. I looked at him and I gave him one of these. That was my impression of Nicki Minaj put her pussy on my sideburn.
When I was just a kid, they said, "Kid, don't you cry." I am older now, I say, it's alright. Every tear rolling down is a lesson learned. Are you too old to turn? Are you
Closing thoughts.
It is really hard to be a struggling black kid at home.
Yeah, that seems about right.
too young to burn?